Welcome, my sons and daughters. My name is Elder George, and I am Chief of Men's Action to Rebuild Society, an organization devoted to propagating or fostering a natural way of life for humankind. Today's title is The Disempowerment of Women. Disempowerment of Women. If you check my website at mensaction.net, mensaction.net, you will see that that is the last essay, or one of the last, should be the last essay that I made under a message from Elder George. That essay received an excellent response, and I decided to make a video out of it. Now, we all know that the term empowerment of women has permeated the media, politics, the educational establishment for decades. It is a term that derives from the complete ignorance of gender abilities and relationships. Power, the word power, and empower are relativities. A power hitter in baseball, he gets more bases per hit than the average player. A power speaker or orator moves people with his message much more than other speakers. A powerful car or a powerful car engine has more horsepower than most cars. Now, if all the hitters got the same number of extra bases per hit, then there wouldn't be any power hitters. There are only power hitters in relation to other hitters. So we can only be empowered in relation to someone else. To empower someone is to give them power relative to others. When we speak of empowering women, we speak of giving them power in relation to men. To empower women relative to men and manly attributes is an oxymoron. A woman can never be empowered vis-a-vis a man in manly things. If they could do that naturally, we would not require laws to empower them. They would be empowered naturally. The fact is they cannot be empowered naturally in anything that a man does. Men, on the other hand, can be disempowered by castrating them, neutering them, emasculating them, which has been done by law and by men's own ignorance in this society. The result has not seen any increase in power of the women. They're not hitting a longer ball. They don't have more horsepower. They didn't change. They're the same as they've always been. What has happened is that men are no longer permitted to exercise their power. And the result has been a complete disempowerment of men, followed by a complete disempowerment of women. The way a woman can be empowered vis-a-vis a man is in non-manly areas. When men's power was unrestricted, they focused on building families. That's what men did. Now, they couldn't do this on their own because they figured out that only women had the reproductive ability. Therefore, women were sought after and they became empowered because they could do something the men couldn't do. They could bring life into the world and nurture it. This was a win-win situation for women. No man could compete with being a good wife and mother. Being a good wife and mother was empowerment, not at the expense of men, but because of the power of men. This female empowerment leveled up the entire race because men set standards and women did their best to show that they lived up to those standards. Men married the mother of their children. That's the woman that a man married, the mother of his children. And were very careful as to whom they would select for that responsibility. Women were treated with dignity. A myriad of courtesies were extended to women, such as opening the door for them, allowing them to go first, having them walk on the sheltered side of the street. Their fathers, brothers, and husbands protected them. They were not treated as similars, because real men knew that women were receptive and responsive and therefore vulnerable and required protection. In the current era of the emasculated male, women have become completely disempowered. They have been reduced to work units. They have become automaton workers and program consumers. All the natural protection given to them by men has been removed, and their moral conduct has degenerated. Their natural attributes of compassion and consideration have been suppressed and been replaced by the cultivation of aggressive behavior. Women are now hired by police departments to learn how to shoot people. The military now hires women and teaches them how to kill people. The nurturers of the race are being taught to become the destroyers of the race. They are becoming motivated to be single mothers, to dump their children while still in diapers into state-run nurseries, daycare centers, while they get on the treadmill of production. They see their children end up in street gangs, on drugs, in prison, or shot dead in the streets. The result of this aberration of human behavior is that women are breaking down. The number one debilitating illness of the American woman is depression. They have become so liberated that they're going out of their minds at an ever-increasing rate. Having the government act as their husband is not working in their best interests. Only men can empower women. Real men who know their responsibility to the family, tribe, and human race. They empower women. In order for men to fulfill their responsibilities, which result in the empowerment of women, they must understand the principle of gender and the patriarchal structure necessary to maintain the family. The patriarchal structure necessary to maintain the family. And they must also have the courage to regain the authority necessary to fulfill their responsibilities. I thank you, my sons and daughters, for tuning in. I'd like to hear from you. You can contact us at mensaction.net, MENSACTION.net. Until next time, I send you my love. Be well.